Alright, I think we're at the end of Lyney's story quest. If it is, I'll probably just tether it to the other part instead of making it its own part. I forget at what part I'm at though. But yeah, it'll be like part 1, part 2 to 300 and whatever I'm at right now. Actually, I think I'm at 400, part 400 and like 3, 404. Something like that. So, that's probably what this is going to be, because I don't think this is going to be a full long video.
She must have known, but she never asked him to leave. I wonder why that is.
So we helped find out that this guy named Caesar wasn't really a bad guy. We helped discover who the real Phantom Weasel Thief really was. Turns out the guy who was Caesar's assistant in magic actually was the one who killed him. Like, he became jealous of him and also was in love with the guy's wife. So not only did he want the guy's fame, but wanted his wife too, but realized he couldn't have any of it. And the fact that that Caesar guy was like a super famous musician that everybody liked, and he wasn't getting any money for it, I guess it made that that Lorenzo guy even more mad. He's like, well, you're a famous magician, and you're not getting paid for it when I could be making that money. So like, it was like a jealousy thing. So we found out who that was, and it turns out that Lyney met him as a child. Which he told that story in the main Archon quest, so that makes sense.
It may take some time, but Caesar's reputation will be restored now that the real culprit has been captured. Looks like Gemma chose a good man after all.
Well, yeah, we found his diary, which even told us that. Well, judging from what happened in Lyney's magic show and the main Archon quest, why would you ever want to go to another one? That's just my theory on it. Tomorrow. Shit. I stood frozen like that the whole time. It is kind of weird that we're like talking to him now anyway, considering in the main story Archon quest, Lumine became angry when she found out that Lynette and Lyney actually are Fatui. And I've already told this story countless times. Like, the reason why is one of the Fatui Harbingers actually adopted him and his sister when they were children. She adopted them. Because apparently they were orphans, and Lyney got tired of living on the street. He didn't want his sister to be like what he called a street rat. He wanted better for her, so he learned magic to try as a way to make money, so that he could try to afford a better life for her. And then they were found by some nobleman, who then adopted them. But then the nobleman ended up selling the sister to another man, who was going around buying young girls to possibly use as slaves. Like, I want to say possibly sex slaves or something else like that. So Lyney found out where the sister was sold to, and he went to the mansion to try to save her, but that Fatui Harbinger, the Arlecchino, was already there. And she had killed that man and saved Lynette. And then in the process, she ended up adopting both of them as her children. And they call her father. So, that's why they are considered Fatui, but they're not even her real children. So, like, I don't know why that would even matter. But it is the fact that they really are Fatui. They've been part of the family for years. And when they first met Lumine, Lyney did lie to Lumine about it, so I can see why Lumine would be mad about that. Considering we've had our run-in with the Fatui since the beginning of the entire game. And they've actually tried to kill her on numerous occasions. Like, Skara did actually try to kill her, like 3 times. So, I can understand why Lumine would be upset about that. She's like, you guys knew about me, because everybody in the Fatui knows about her. And everything she's been through, so it's like they've known the whole time. They already knew who she was, kind of deal. Which is why when she arrived at Fontaine, Lyney was already at the port, and so was Lynette. They were there to, like, receive her secretly. So I can understand why she would have been mad. Well, here I am in this damn place again. This is now the third time. Ah, there's Gemma and Lynette. I'm good. We are late getting to our seats.
I was excited to see another of Lyney's magic shows! Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be on stage by now?
Not this time. My brother's going solo today, so I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's ready because the show is about to begin. The great magician Lyney has prepared a spectacular show for us all tonight, concluding with an all-new grand finale that no audience has ever seen before.
Is he gonna enact the thing that he was telling us? How, like, oh, you're supposed to get in the box and a dummy falls out and all of that.
Thank
Is he
you
gonna show
all
how
so
it went
much
wrong?
for coming. Now, prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
Is he gonna tell the story of what really happened to Caesar? Because I think that's what he's gonna do. If I had to speculate. Then he wows the audience with his skill. Phenomenal.
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just... It reminds me of him.
Her dead husband who got killed.
No wonder. Caesar was a famous magician too. So, how did you two first meet, Gemma?
Well, I was out on the street once, and I saw him performing for little children. Children love magic, because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world, and somehow, I felt drawn to him too. So I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic. What trick did he do?
It was with a flower. He took it in his hand, snapped his fingers, and it magically appeared on my head.
It's kind of like what Lyney did to me, except for it appeared on my, like, neck, like her chest. Not like in her cleavage, like it was like on her scarf to Lumine. He had held it and did that with the Lumido spell, which means parting. I don't know why he would give me that, but yeah.
I was so happy that day. No one had ever given me a flower before that.
Hey, I don't care how old you get. I don't care what gender you are or what gender you associate yourself with. Flowers are like romantic, and they are beautiful on their own. There's something like peaceful and calming when you see them, even like smelling them in the air. It's calming. I don't know. Though I've been told that if you smell roses, that it means death is near. And so far for me, that's been true. Every time I do smell roses, somebody in my family usually winds up dying. I know that's not a good thing to say, but for me, that is what it has been.
Oh, that's so cute! Actually, now that you mention it, Lyney's done that one before.
He did that to me.
Is that right? Then I suppose he's a romantic at heart, just like Caesar. So let's treasure the time we have with him.
Are they trying to romantically pair Lumine with fucking Lyney? What are you doing?
After all,
Oh my god!
you never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
Don't be sad. The killer has been caught.
That's right. It's all over now. Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now on. You can breathe easy at last, right?
Right. Yes, you can breathe easy now. Phantom Weasel.
She's the real one.
See? Even Lynette says... Wait, what? The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
Paimon, what was that sliding?
What do you mean, Phantom Weasel?
As Lyney once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience. But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their sleeve.
So when her husband died, she was secretly trying to perform magic tricks like he would, using a different name? Is that what happened?
It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't like this riddle. Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going. Come on, say something!
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance so far. There will now be a brief intermission, after which Lyney will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show. The one we've all been waiting for.
Oh no, is he gonna do that one where he said he couldn't escape it?
The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside in a calm and orderly fashion.
What kind of fucking organized clapping are they doing? This is the synchronizing clap of our people.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for now.
Did she stand up and like nudge in place? Oh look, I just realized that's Charlotte up there. What the? Oh my god. She's walking away, following that lady in the pink dress. So Charlotte was here? Yeah, that's her. Look at that walk. She's struggling to walk up the stairs. Let's watch her walk off screen for a moment. Okay. Okay, let's go outside. Higher? Oh. Thought they meant higher as in up the door.
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood. This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully I do have a backup plan. Now, who wants to hear a story?
Lyney? Don't we have more important things to address right now? Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
Really? Well then, let's hear it! Paimon's dying of curiosity here!
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine. She never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was. Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now, all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all. At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his death. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this, pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Lyney? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady. Perish the thought.
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even at the end instead of admitting to being the weasel himself?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Lyney, if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious, having killed Caesar with his own hands. Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we? If I had to guess, I would say that the real weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly ragdolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her. Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became a breeding ground for dark thoughts. Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles. I detest the happiness of others. In all its forms alike, I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true. And it will fill the void in my soul.
That's some pretty heavy stuff.
Now it all makes sense.
Does this story satisfy you, Lyney?
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
So what was with the warning letter?
Huh. That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? What were you trying to achieve there? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Lyney. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter outside the Opera House. But why?
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Yeah, 'cause he knew that man.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar's death? You met him? Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long, and you're all grown up now. I didn't recognize you. He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But we did not forget. And so we came to find you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
Oh, you're not.
Free? Do you really think so? Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole. Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think you know, deep down, that he is the only truth you have in your life. But that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you, you'll never see it again.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you, after all.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing Lyney to perform his final act in tonight's show.
And he's like inside, just casually talking.
I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no more, for the answer is a death-defying high-altitude escape.
Oh, that's right, he is gonna do it.
A high-altitude escape?
That trick Caesar died attempting? 10 years ago.
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel. But we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crimes.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous. Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my true witnesses.
Lyney, wait.
God, that is so angry.
You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today. Maybe then you'll finally understand.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
So, what are we, doing now?
Like Lyney said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show.
But what about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Lyney after the show, you know where he'll be. The usual haunt.
Alright, well, let's go watch Lyney's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but she should be able to pull it off, right?
Oh god.
What is my truth? Sometimes I think I'm like a gambling addict. All I care about is winning, and it doesn't matter what's at stake. By the time I come to my senses, I'm left with nothing. Oh, if I had my time again.
Magicians are not like thieves. Thieves only tear things apart. But good-hearted magicians, they put things back together.
Alright, I guess we'll go outside. Watch this. He already told us that he couldn't make it, so what happens if he doesn't do it? I don't have animal powers right now, so it's not like I can catch him. I guess in a real-life real scenario, I would have to send Scara up to get him. He can fly, you know. Don't fucking stare at me like that. Oh my god! No. Oh. Absolutely not. Holy shit. His eyes are like deep abyss cesspools that pierce my soul. Oh my god. That turn looked weird.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
It's alright, we're used to that.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
Look! Behold! Lyney is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you. Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
That, 1 minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
The way he was saying all those lines, he was starting to sound like Shao. Like, isolating. Like, just random one words after another. That's what it made me think of the whole time.
How could he possibly have done that?
Well, you know.
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished right in front of my eyes.
See, I told you Charlotte was there.
What a heart-stopping magic show! This was really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself. Looks like everyone really loved Lyney's grand finale.
Even though they don't know the full story.
Paimon doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Where'd he go? Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, where is that?
Cemetery?
Oh, you mean the one where Caesar's buried? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Lyney's way of saying goodbye to Caesar. So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him there.
Like how the flowers are actually physically there. Okay. These machine dog things, or I guess it is a real dog. Its eyes though. Holy shit, oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna go over here. Yeah, that race is basically they're like they look like fucking Pokemon or something. It is weird how this game does like to have a lot of animal people in it. I wonder if that was their own original idea or if they're just trying to cater to a certain type of people who like that type of thing. I don't really care either way, but look at him just standing there. I think it's weird. Because when you have animal people, then you have people that want to sexualize that. Like, there's probably people who look at Lynette and probably think, damn, a cat girl, you know what I would do with that. But she's... Oh my god, why are you calling me? Well, unfortunately, that was actually a phone call from one of my roommates who had to go catch the bus, but they left something. So I had to get it and go run it out to them. Fortunately, ever since I caught COVID last year, I can't run. I'm not supposed to. I have damage in my lungs, so when I run, it causes me a really, really bad pain. Not only in my lungs, but like in my throat. And I start breathing really bad. And I can't run. I'm not supposed to be running. Because that caused me a lot of pain. So now my voice is probably going to be fading in and out. So I'm probably going to have to try to end this quickly. God. It was so bad. I'm not supposed to be running. That really hurt. Inside of my lungs hurt really bad now. All the inside of my throat, just my whole chest. Oh. Damn it. Alright. Yeah, it hurts bad. It really hurts bad. Lyney.
Lyney! There you are!
God, he looks super depressed. Well, he should be, I mean. He dedicated that to the man he knew when he was a child who died because of somebody else. Oh, man. It hurts so bad. It's like hard for me to breathe now. I'm not supposed to run. I feel like I physically just can't, like, because the damage to my lungs since when I had the virus last year, like when I run it feels like a tornado of shards of broken glass just cutting up my insides. Like that's how painful it is. Like it is so painful. I'm not supposed to run, because after I ran just now, I had to run all the way to where they were, and then I had to run all the way back to my house. And even if I calm and sit down for a while, it'll still hurt. So it's probably going to be like that for days. Like it's even hard for me to breathe. It's going to be like that for a little while. Oh God.
Are you alright? I'm almost scared to death when the chain broke. I'm always sure something had gone horribly wrong.
It was a chain? I thought it was a rope.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh.
He did tell us that in one of my other videos, like the last video. He's like, if a musician was gonna try to escape from a box, they would even tie themselves up before going in to make it convincing. So that's why he caused that to break.
I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes I can't help but wonder what Caesar thought in those final moments. Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
You even said when they were kids.
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him.
Don't stare at me like that, Jesus Christ.
I told you about my past before, remember?
Yeah?
As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done, but I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves, but without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us.
Oh.
In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion." But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
Lyney.
Oh, that wasn't your fault. I don't blame you.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you?
Well, even in real life, yes. Yes, I am. I do have a heart of gold. I do try harder for others than myself. I do care more about others more than myself. And I would give everything I had to give if it would for somebody else. Like, you know, like if there was somebody important to me, I would give my everything for them. Even if that meant I ended up with nothing. As long as they could be happy and as long as they were alive, that's honestly all that would matter to me. I've always been like that. I am a very self-sacrificing person. That's also why I've been targeted and hurt a lot too, though. Anyway, you were saying?
But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the House of the Hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay. You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
We're in your auditorium, and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, cheer up, Lyney. We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey, too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the Traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that. Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me, and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through. All right, time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
It was amazing! Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Gemma situation. We spent most of our time in the Opera House just packing and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show. Lyney, could you do just one more trick for us?
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely we can think of something. The Lyney Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand! We ain't going along with this!
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
It's gonna appear on her.
3, 2, 1!
Now, have another look around. Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
Why do you keep putting it on me, you freak?
Really? Let's see.
Ah.
Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's called, oh yeah, a rainbow rose.
So if the Lumido spell he gave me the first time was a symbol of parting, then this one should be a symbol of...
But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done, please, Lyney, please!
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Fine. Please, teacher, please!
Man, she just goes along with anything anyone tells her.
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Is that it?
Look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night. I look forward to seeing you again.
Alright, fine. See ya! Shall we head back down too? Oh, Paimon can't wait to read the Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Lyney and Caesar will be plastered all over it. Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
Okay, it should tell me in my thing what that one is. Oh god, I shouldn't have ran. It's painful. Flower accessory given to you by Lyney by his magic shows that it is arrangement of the Lumido spells which symbolize parting, and rainbow roses that represent passion. Hearting and passion are two separate perspectives sharing the same nature. What really matters is the present that we are living in. Ah, it's both flowers together. That's cute. So the Lumidos bough is the blue one, which is parting. The rainbow rose, which is pink, is passion. Why do men keep giving me things? Even Child gave me his damn vision. What are we doing? And then Toma gave me this Omamori. Not that one. This one. This one. What the f... Okay, wait until the next morning. Yeah, I really shouldn't have ran. It was bad. Well, I kind of had to because my roommate was catching the bus for work, and the bus is like 4 blocks down from my house, and it's not short blocks, like the blocks are long. And I had to run to go meet them to give them something that they left because they needed it. They know I can't run. When we all got the virus last year, including them, I had suffered, me and my mother suffered the worst with it. My mother had it worse than me. And I have damage to my lungs. I'm not supposed to be running. They even told me not to. Oh god! I was gonna sword plunge and I would think I would accidentally kill Lyney.
But my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Oh, please, Lyney. I'll only take a moment of your time. If you would be so kind.
Why did that sound so desperate as fuck? Oh, please, Lyney! Like, what the shit?
Huh? What's happening here? I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was going to go to print this morning.
But then...
But just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along. That was quick.
What?
Huh? Too late, bro.
Yeah, he wants me to stay quiet.
That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Please, fill me in. Whoops! Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Lyney's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Huh. Okay, then. Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
Well...
Charlotte's journalistic spirit is burning red. We're going to have to distract her somehow.
Oh, I remember now. You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quick-fire question. Where did you all go after the show? Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what? Lyney started using rainbow roses in his tricks.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
Oh my god, are we doing a fucking brother complex? What? Oh my god. I know he's your twin and he's like your only family, but please stop this fucking Oni-chan shit. Please stop this. Fucking anime and games need to stop this incest shit. I hate it. Oh my god, please.
No, I just...
What the fuck?
What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again?
You sure did.
This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler? Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Well, never mind. There's always next time.
Oh, my lungs still hurt.
Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, I can't turn away. The news about Gemma has already made waves, and I'll stop at nothing to get to the bottom of it all.
Okay.
Apparently, one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo one last time. Ah, there's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious. All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
So she just turns in the water and slides down that drain. Like fucking...
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to...
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was just trying to distract her.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Please, take good care of that rainbow rose. I'd be really upset if you lost it.
What the Oh my god! Stop with the fucking, like, it's a brother complex, dude. What the fuck? I don't know why games and anime do that. Like the sister's in love with the brother, and any other girls that get in the way, they're gonna go psycho yandere and kill them. Like, I hate it. I hate that. Please stop. Oh my fucking god. I mean, Lyney's cute, don't get me wrong, but that's her own brother. What the fuck is all I can say to that. Oh my god. Oh, my chest still hurts. I'm not supposed to be... I don't know, I mean, there's some people that like that type of shit. Me personally, I do not. I don't like talking about my own personal life, but I don't see the whole appeal. So I have a real brother and I have a half brother, and I don't even like talking about this. How should I say this? I really don't like talking about this. This is my own personal stuff, and I should probably keep it to myself. I don't like coming onto YouTube and talking about my real life. This isn't something I want to do at all. Wrong. Oh, that's how. Okay, hold on. I just don't see the appeal because I'm somebody who was abused at a young age. So that's why when it comes to brother complexes in games, I don't understand it. I really just don't. Did I get it? Okay. No, my half brother was really abusive to me, in not ideal ways. I don't like talking about this. I don't know why I even brought it up. It's just I'm trying to get to the point. I'm trying to explain how much I hate it, and I want people to understand just how much. I'm somebody who has been was sexually abused by my half brother, so that's why I don't see the whole brother appeal. So that's why when I see that in games and anime, it makes me angry.